Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
I'm Brian Huntress.
And I'm Theodora Earthworms.
Here is the show.
Oh, no, it's all the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you, though.
Awesome. Cool. Should we just sit in the grass, I guess?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, good. It's so good to be outside. The last one we recorded was in the car, and that sucked. It was very hot in there.
I'm sure it probably was the worst.
Yeah.
Are you going already?
Yeah. So,
how long do you take?
the interview?
Yeah.
I mean, there really isn't a specific time. I guess they usually average out around a little over an hour, but they can be longer or shorter.
Oh no, it's just like I was thinking it's gonna rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be okay if it gets cut short. Maybe we could even just go over to the we could make a run for the overhang or something over there.
Yeah, that probably would work.
Yeah, it's all good either way. But
for the listener, we're in Ringer Park.
yeah, in Alston, nice local spot. Is this Alston technically or Brighton?
Yes.
Who
it's
knows?
Like right on the edge.
Whatever. I guess we could start too by maybe you could introduce yourself and tell us about what you do.
Yeah, I'm Lauren Cavalcante, and I'm a printmaker.
Mhm.
I just graduated from Mass Art.
Wow.
Yeah, and I will be continuously doing more prints, but just by my hand or feet. Like sometimes I dance on top because my hand's kind of bad right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you
so-
said you work with your feet as well as your hands?
Yeah. So
How
like
does?
I dance on top of the block once I'm gonna print it.
Oh my God.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I did too much, but my legs start to hurt a little bit.
Oh.
So I guess I'm trying to be careful. But
Yeah.
I found like a good Japanese paper that is very thin, so I don't need much to just like have a nice print with the grain of the wood. So it's
Nice.
just nice and pretty. So I don't need to even like do too much.
Yeah.
So-
you do, oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say you do woodblock carving then?
Yeah, I do block.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually brought.
Oh my God, we'd love to see them.
I have been working on recently. It started as a fun collab with my best friend, and then they left, and I still had the blocks. So I was like, I'm just gonna continue
Yeah.
and gonna keep doing more.
That's sick.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So I was working today. So just let it.
Could I pick
if
it
you
up?
don't mind. Yeah, you can
Oh,
pick it
cool.
up if you don't mind the ink. It's a little bit. Inky.
Oh, that's okay. Now what's really interesting about this to me, this is so exciting that you brought these, is that these are, so they're probably about maybe roughly 11 by 14 for the listener, wood panels that you have carved into, would you call these stamps or just wood block prints?
It would be like called a wood block relief.
It's like what I think is like so
So
crazy.
It's pretty much a stamp. Like
Okay.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Like easier to understand.
And do you just buy this wood at like just a hardware store or?
So yeah, you can buy at Home Depot or any other like wood store.
Wow.
But this one I actually bought in a wood store around Port Square.
Okay.
But also sometimes like I get from the streets or from
Yeah.
like there's this friend that he has the studio in the Humphrey Studios. So he has a lot of wood there because I wood shop. So sometimes I grab some scrap wood with him and I can still work with my stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And
Even though like I don't have all the materials right now, but I still can make like work.
Yeah.
You know?
And what kind of tools are you using to carve into this wood? Because this doesn't look that soft. It looks like like pretty hard wood.
Actually, it's carving tools. Like I forgot to bring that one, but it's just like carving tools that you buy like on Blick or artist
yeah.
craftsman. It's like specific carving tools that you use just to carve the wood.
Like small bladed hand tools.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's like there's different ones. There's one that is like the shape of a V, so it's like called a V gouge. So
okay.
you just like very thin and detailed ones that was just perfect. And then there's the other ones like kind of round. And then there's like variations of those. There's like kind of round, and then there's also the knife, which was like just like a straight knife that you can almost like draw on wood.
Oh.
Cool.
And I guess I'm interested too. How long do you think? Like maybe this one here in black. This that it looks like there's a lot of line work, and it's a very very carved up. How long did that one take you?
This one was very interesting because since my hand has been bad, what happens like I asked for kind of like a collaboration from my friends to
Oh,
help
yeah.
me carve. So I drew with a black marker on top first, and then I asked help from friends, especially my best friend, and some other friends around. I was like trying to tell them what printmaking is, and then trying to show it, say, hey, just try out, you're gonna like it, I promise. And then they all love it, and it's pretty much just us then just follow the line that you see, the black line, or just do some textures with the tool that they decide to use. So that's how like mostly started. Like first my best friend just focused on texture, and the other people also focus on texture. So it was a whole like community collaboration, which it's something that I always like aim for, to always do like some work with more than one person. You know what I mean? I love that.
That's so cool. So do you do collaborations often?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I always try to find someone.
How many people worked on this one here?
Primarily one person, and then let's say like 4 to 5 more people at least to like know what is to carve a wood, in understanding what is the concept of a relief print wood block.
And at the surface level, without knowing that much about you, I'm already really inspired by the idea, because I paint and draw and stuff, but printmaking has always been really intimidating to me because I didn't understand the materials very well, and I thought that there was special wood you had to buy, for one, and I did special tools and this and that, but to see you using just literal, like, this is like so cool.
Thank you. Well,
like, I want to go carve up some wood.
So I understand that printmaking can be very pretentious for some people and can be like scary. It was for me at some point. I always like tell people it took me, I don't know, 2-3 years to understand what is the carve, the white of the paper when the teacher is explaining the wood block.
Oh.
But I just keep doing and keep carving until like I get it, until like I have good work.
Yeah.
And then now I completely understand that, and I can actually like, you know, pass to others, and they show, hey, it's not that hard, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very interesting, and I don't know, I think printmaking is very inspiring.
Yeah.
Because it connects to other people, and I think that's what art is for me, like all about the connection with other people and be able to create work out of that connection.
Wow. Oh, fly coming around. Were you gonna say something? I was about to segue, I guess. I was also wondering, maybe we could talk a little bit about, I guess, how you got started creatively in general. Like, did you, when you were a kid or in your earlier days, were you drawing or painting or anything like that?
So that is a very interesting question, because when I was like 11, 12, I was crazy to be an actress.
Oh, cool.
And I really wanted to pursue like movie theaters or theater. I really wanted to do theater, but my mom was totally against that. But she took me to an exhibition in like a museum in my city in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I fell in love with the fine arts.
Yeah.
And it was like all like Monet and Degas, very like classic work to very like feel enjoyable, you know, for 11 years old, I guess. Like, they never saw anything, so I fell in love with all that. And I really wanted to draw, but like, you know, sometimes like supportive parents don't really like help you to go through that way.
Yeah.
So I mostly like stayed in theater for a while, even though my mom was also against that. But like, I was like, I gotta be an artist no matter what. And I had this thing in my mind for so many years that at some point, like, I was drawing like some mangas and there's some bunnies by like listening to Death Cab for Cute.
Yeah.
And then I went to Dublin and started to draw buildings.
Oh, cool.
Because someone told me that the pen was really nice and I was drawing good lines. And I was like, that's weird. But okay, and I keep drawing. And then I have to leave Dublin, come back to my city. And then my city, what happened was I met someone that gave me a lot of support. And all my friends gave me support. They said, you should keep doing drawing.
Yeah.
And I kept doing like small little courses by like design or graphic design or like watercolor this or, you know, like little things. And then I decided to apply to, you know, like universities in the US. And I thought that was like impossible. So I applied like 7 of them because I was like, this is gonna be too hard. So I mostly got in most of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like shocked. I got a scholarship and everything. The first I went to Maine, and I was just very lost there. Like the whole cultural shock, very different, very small city, Portland, Maine, compared to like Sao Paulo,
Were you at
which is like,
was it Mecca? They
yeah,
call it.
I was in
Cool.
Mecca. I love like the people, like the whole school was amazing. They were really nice, but it was too small for me.
Yeah.
So I had to like come to Boston, transfer to math art, and then that's when I had to choose printmaking.
Yeah.
And I felt like illustration was just like give me a lot of pain, and I didn't want that. And then with printmaking, I felt I could be free.
Oh, that's cool.
So once I got into printmaking, it was like I can do anything with this.
Yeah.
You know, there's no boundaries, there's no limits, nothing. I can just create out of this to anything.
What is it about printmaking specifically, like medium-wise, that you feel like calls to you the most?
I think it's the medium, because I can get any kind of surface. You know, I have the wood, I have a plexiglass, I have copper.
Yeah.
I can just scratch the hell off that and they create something.
Yeah.
And it's like it's something very tactful.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's cool.
that you scratch and it comes out something. It's like all the minerals, every like toxic thing that we use, it's all like from the earth, from like pigments that, you know, you have to mix it up and everything.
Yeah.
It's just very, very earthly and very like
tactile.
yeah,
like,
very tactile.
Yeah.
It's really like inspiring me just to use it. You
Yeah.
know, those elements. When I have to, like today, I decided that I wanted to print, and that was the day. And it was just like good to sit there and feel like I was having pain on my arm and everything. I was like, no, I need to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this until I get.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw in your story when we were on our way over here that you were posting about doing it like half an hour ago or something.
Yeah, I was posting off this.
That's awesome.
So I'm also wondering too, what brought you to Ireland? At what point? How old were you when you went there?
So I was 19, 20 when I went there, and that was funny because I always wanted to go abroad and learn a new language, and I was studying like British English for a while. So I wanted to go to London first, but the visa was like super complicated and I would not be able to work. I really wanted to work because I felt it was like essential to meet other people. So my mom was like, let's check Ireland, what do you think? And I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
she managed a bunch of new loans and all this stuff for me to be able to go, because it was like kind of a dream to go outside and meet something new.
Yeah.
And then I did it. Then I went there. It was like, I don't know, one of the best experiences of my life.
That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely was amazing. Like, and it was funny because I came here, I would tell people, or sometimes like my accent would come out. Once I moved here, I still have some accent, because that's when I mostly learn my English. So some people would like not understand me at all when I would speak things. So I had to change completely my accent, and then just sometimes something comes out, and then if someone like knows, they understand, and they're like, oh, I know where it's coming from. But it's really, really, really rare right now. You guys more like Brazilian or just like some American slangs, because no one could understand in the beginning. So it's funny.
That's cool. That's really interesting. I only speak one language, and I wish that I spoke more,
too.
but that must be a whole...
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think like English wasn't that hard because it felt like I grew up with that.
Yeah.
So I grew up like watching a lot of TV shows and other stuff that was related to English all the time.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, and even like when I was a teenager, we would use like words that were English in a vocabulary, so like whatever, or things like that.
Yeah.
So as a funny thing, I don't know why, that happens a lot in the Brazilian culture, especially like Sao Paulo. So I think that kind of like was okay for me, but like when I'm trying to like get better at my Spanish or my Italian, I'm like, why so hard?
Yeah.
Even though like they're Latin language, but they still feel hard sometimes for me.
So do you speak 4 languages?
No, I'm speaking Portuguese,
Okay.
English. I can understand and speak a little of Spanish.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn more other language, so it's like
That's cool.
Italian or French.
Yeah.
In the East, I was like a little bit you can stand by reading it. You should learn, two more.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier.
That's cool.
And I also noticed on your knuckles, are you 25?
Oh, no. That's my cousin that he passed away. So I put his years here. But everybody always thinks it's that.
Oh, because I was born in 95,
Gotcha.
so I was like, oh, maybe we're the same. How old are you?
I'm actually 31.
21?
31.
31. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No one believe it though. It's funny, but yeah, 31.
Right. No, that's awesome. So you were in Ireland. So you spent your teenage years in Brazil and went to Ireland in 1920. And how long were you there in Dublin? And also, were you studying art there?
No, I was studying English there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but
okay.
I was like trying to get back to drawing at some point, and then someone just support me and said, "Hey, keep doing because these videos are cool." So I just kept doing.
Yeah.
And they helped because I went back to Brazil. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. I wanted back.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just gonna draw.
Yeah.
So that helped.
And those were like close friends, or was like, did you have anyone in your life that was like kind of like a mentor or an art teacher or anything like that?
Yeah, I had my best friends. I had my partner in the time. He was very essential, very supportive, and the teacher too. Like I had this teacher who's like crazy about comic books, and somehow he would spark like drawings more in me, and like he always support me so much. They're like, yeah, do a Iron Man, do a Spider-Man, and then nowadays I just laugh because I wanted to be a comic book artist in the time because of him.
Yeah.
Because the way he support me so much, he's like, oh, just do this, follow this line, do this, and like the little things that now like it's nothing, but like in the time was so big for someone that was learning that like I remember telling my friend, oh, I want to be a comic book artist, I want to be a real artist, I don't know when or how, but I hope one day I can be.
That's
and
awesome.
then she was like, but that's really hard. I'm like, I know, yeah, but people only do that when they're kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but I'm taking classes. And she was like, how many? I'm like, 3 times a week. She's like, okay, that's good. That's a lot. I'm like, yeah, let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Yeah. I'm doing it.
That's cool.
And I noticed you mentioned earlier that you were exposed to different things like Monet or other like fine art stuff. You said that was in your childhood?
Yeah, in my childhood, I exposed a lot to Monet, even Picasso, Degas.
Yeah.
They were like my first things. And then it's funny because I got a lot of influence by Kurt Cobain art.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know, right? And then even when you tell teachers, sometimes they get kind of like weird about it. It's like Kurt Cobain art, like what are you talking about, you know? But like it kind of inspired me too. Like I had different moments on my art that kind of inspired me. Not just the words. Sometimes the words, but sometimes the art too.
Yeah.
So my influences nowadays are totally different. Like nowadays, very like Louis Bourgeois and John Mitchell sometimes.
Like Joni Mitchell, the musician?
Yeah, no, that too for listening
okay.
music.
Oh, okay.
But the painter, the American painter.
Oh, okay. I'm not
John
familiar,
Mitchell.
actually.
Joan.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
John Mitchell. Joan.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard of either of those artists. Are they printmakers or painters?
John is printmaker. No, not printmaker. Painter. And Louise is actually, she started as printmaker and then she does everything. And like she's one very known as like the Spider Woman.
Oh wow.
So she's like has these big, huge spiders in different places.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Really?
she's French. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think she had something on ICA maybe at some point.
We'll have to look her up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Nice.
Francis Bacon, a lot of Francis Bacon in my life because society.
So in this initial exposure and this interest in fine art, did you say it was through a museum, or like how did you come across these things as a kid? Just like books and stuff?
Museum, a lot of museum. Like one of my best friends in Brazil, she always play with me. She's like, you always gonna go that like museum, right? Like the kid think about museum. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna go to the museum. I'm like, that's art museum. What else should I go?
The museum is fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So is there like a museum, an MFA, or is that what would it be called in Sao Paulo? You said.
Had different ones. I don't think more like MFA. We had the art museum, which is like in a big like part of the city, very well known. And then we had a lot other museums. They're like more contemporary, and others more specific lithography. The one I did is called Pinacoteca, which is like I think it's like Italian for museum.
Cool.
And that was my favorite one. It's like the architecture is very like 1920s.
Yeah.
It's very nice. And the pieces inside, like I remember coming back last time and going there to see like this very tiny watercolors that people did it off of like boats back in the 1920s of like the port city that is nearby in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
So it's like really nice things that you can find sometimes that you don't find in a big museum, you know?
Yeah. That's cool.
Is Sao Paulo a coastal city?
Can like a little bit, because there is the state in the city. So in the city there is like cities next door. They're very like ocean.
Gotcha. Huh.
Neat. Something else that I wanted to just like going back a little bit. You said that you were a lot of when you started like really drawing was architectural drawings. You said.
Yeah, I did a lot of buildings in Dublin, and I really like felt inspired there.
Yeah.
With the architecture. And even like back in Sao Paulo, I would love to draw the architecture there. I would notice sometimes when I was traveling, because I love to travel a lot.
Yeah.
After being in college, it got harder to travel outside the US, especially pandemic. But I used to travel all the time. So when I was travel, I would like do sketches of buildings, and by observation that will take me to realize that every place reminds me a little bit of other places.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's like I was drawing somewhere in Santiago de Chile, and then I realized it reminds me a lot of somewhere in like Italy.
Yeah, like similar architectural themes
so,
and stuff?
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Like in Sao Paulo, I saw parts that remind me a lot of like balconies in Paris. And I was like, wait, I thought this was all Portuguese, but Paris? This reminds me of Paris. You know, like just by drawing a lot and sketching, I kind of like make some kind of a data in my own mind in the sketchbooks that reminds me of architecture of different places.
So have you traveled to a lot of other different countries as well?
Yeah.
Really? What was your traveling like? Were you going alone or with friends or?
Well, it depends. Sometimes friends, sometimes backpacking with a partner, sometimes just going by myself backpacking.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what drives you to do that? Is that just like, is it a sense of adventure?
Yeah, like to be free. You know,
Yeah.
I love to be free and just go different cities, different people, different food. Like I still remember like just getting out of this hostel in like Krakow, in Poland.
Really?
It being like super like dark, and I was like, oh, it's gonna rain. And they like, I don't care. And they just walk around the town, and they go close to the railway, and then I just listened to this Polish guy saying "tak, tak, tak." I was like, "What is this?" And then I researched, is like, just say yes. But like, it's interesting because you have to research, you have to try to figure out.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
like so, it instigates curiosity on you.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you traveled like that?
Outside the country or inside?
I guess both. Have you done a lot of traveling around the United States also?
Not a lot, but I try my best. But now with COVID, it's kind of harder.
Of course, yeah.
But last time I went to San Francisco, visit a friend there, and we went to Santa Cruz. I found out there is kind of crazy raves happening in front of strawberries fields
Oh, wow.
in California.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna camp here and there's this party. I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I woke up, there's a strawberry field next to it. I was like, okay, I like this.
So, when did you start studying at Mass Art?
I transferred to Mass Art 2017. No, I started 2018.
Oh,
I did
okay.
some CV class to help me to figure out if I was gonna do illustration or printmaking.
So did you graduate during the pandemic then?
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
wow.
graduated in May.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
That's a feat, getting an MFA.
I had my graduation party here on the park. My friend did like a cookout, like we like grilled some veggies,
Aw.
tempeh, all vegan, super nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you vegan as well?
I try my best.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
not
yeah.
that yet.
Cool.
I feel like
Gotcha.
it's so close, but sometimes I'm eating something that is not 100% vegan.
Yeah, it can be kind of hard to do the whole switch over. But
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm also wondering about just this imagery that's here in front of us in these blocks. Could you tell us a little bit about what inspires these specifically? Like, I understand you do a lot of like figure and like people and like things like that. Like, are you maybe making art? Are they images of people you know, or are these like scenes? Or
Yeah, so pretty much I always ask my close friends to pose for me.
Cool.
Like, not even need to be close, but friends that I know, that they know my work, they understand. So I ask them to pose for me because I feel like I realized on the last semester I was going crazy, that I, like not knowing what to do, just like having a whole art block, you know. So I decided that I was just gonna draw a friend. So they posed for me, I drew them, inspired me joy, and inspired me this connection, and then I drew another friend, and then another friend, another friend, and they would pose for me in different ways, and I realized that this connection that I have to my friends, to my community, is essential in my life. And what I can do, I can create more artwork by feel inspired by this connection, because I think it's important, because you know, when you're sad, you can just be alone and cry by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or you can just hang out with your friends and do some cooking and baking and talk about your feelings, or not talk about your feelings, but like it's gonna be much better.
Yeah, kind of uplifting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned a lot with my best friend about community and about like getting close to each other, support each other, and I think more that I get close to people and feel this connection, I feel it's like family, you know, like, but I kind of got out of my traditional family and got adopted to this community that I call it family now.
Yeah.
And they inspire me to keep doing art, and they inspire me to feel good. So
Yeah.
I realized that once I ask someone to pose, maybe they're not gonna be exactly on my blocks, but they're gonna bring something to me, some of our connection together.
data.
Yeah,
Like
data.
you were saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Data in my mind, they are gonna be able to put on the blocks.
Wow. So even if you're do you still do architectural drawings as well, like buildings and shit like that?
Not much, but sometimes if I decided to just sit in front of something, and I can draw a block.
So a lot of these images on the blocks. Oh, it seems like the rain's
Starting
starting. So the images on the blocks are out of your head.
No,
Or like
in these blocks, so like I said, I've been drawing people.
okay.
So since I was drawing people, I realized that maybe sometimes you don't always have someone to pose for you, because
Yeah.
that happens sometimes.
It's hard to find models and stuff.
Yeah. So I asked my friend, instead of for just doing by live observation, how about if we do by photos, because that's what normally they would do it, but we do it together.
Yeah.
And we do different blocks. So I told them to do one block by themselves, which is this one. The other block I'll do one by myself. In one block I'll draw and we like maybe carve together or do something together, but something more like abstract or conceptual, different from the other two blocks.
Yeah.
So they took they're really good at photos, they're great photographers, so they took a bunch of photos of me, and I was in different positions, and they took those photos and we put it like in our phones and we shared together, and together we drew those in
cool.
sketchbooks or just look at the photo. So for my sketchbook I drew mine, and they drew also from the photos. And in their sketchbook, they didn't use a sketchbook, they only drew straight from the photo.
Okay.
And then from the other one, I will just let myself go and start to use the black marker and go everywhere in the third block. And then they help me they helped me to carve out of the black lines at some point, and then later I just asked them to go around and do some work for me. And then at some point I was just in the Humphrey Studios with my friend, and then I told them, can you just use your Dremel to do some holes for me? And they're like, sure. I was like, I just need like 4 holes on my wood block.
Yeah.
Because I need specifically to have these holes there. And then they're like, okay, sure. So they did it, and yes, I said, just a tiny bit more. And then I'll tell him exactly how much I need of these holes on the wood block. And then that's why you see like these holes that look like
I was going to say, they're so perfect, yeah.
And it was nothing like I planned. It was something like I was feeling I needed these holes, and I need exactly how they look exactly like that.
Yeah.
And then my roommate started finish carving, and then out of that I just started printing. And then one thing that I do a lot that I did in my last group of body, my body, once I'm done with my senior year, I had this whole like kind of like 36 by 40 big works that they asked us to finish in the senior year. So I learned a lot with that work that like I can connect everything just by like collage on top, which printmaker we call it chinkole. So that's what I had the idea with those. I wanted to print all of them together, but primarily the main idea I wanted to do chinkole with them. And I even started to do some stuff. I can show my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see. You said it's the technique is called chinkole?
Yeah, it's like a collage.
So does that mean piecing together prints or printing multiple blocks like on one support, like one page?
No, printing on the same page, there will be more like a reduction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you carve the white out in parts.
Yeah.
But the chinkole is just like when I have one print and then I cut a paper. It doesn't need to have a print on. It can be like just a handmade paper, but it has to be a very thin paper. And then you put on top of the block, and then you can print with the other paper already on the block, and then you have to put that on the press, and then that will be chinkole.
So you can kind of see through the actual additional paper?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's why the paper has to be very thin.
Yeah. Like it's like a film layer kind of.
Yeah. It's very thin, and then it's like a collage on top, very thin.
Cool.
Wow.
So the one I'm working on is this one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
So it's pretty much the block that my friend finished carved, and then the last conceptual block I just finished carving, and then I just cut out parts off and then start to glue on top. And then I just need to work with the block that I carved by myself. That I feel I still need to maybe carve some more, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
But I just need to decide which color I want to put it on and then connect the 3 of them together.
Cool. That's awesome. So it results in one image with the 3 different blocks.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
And then also I can print again on top. Like, it's because I don't have a press, so that makes my work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But if I had a press, I can like put more colors on top, and that's what I'm gonna keep trying by hand and by feet.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to stop.
That's so neat.
Wow.
It's like a totally different way of thinking about it than like drawing or painting.
Yeah.
Different.
And also the idea is create more on top of this. So like once I'm done collage, I can also paint on top, or I can like draw on top.
Yeah.
Because that's what like the contemporary printmaking is all about. Like you keep collaging, keep creating on top. You know, oh, I did too much this part, I can put a white part on top, and then I can cover this part. You know, you keep going until you actually have something that is very strong and interesting, that you can feel you
texture.
Yeah,
and like
have the texture and have the thing that you can actually look at it and say, oh, wow, okay, I did that. How? You know, like that.
Do you think there's a reason that the kind of tactile and like hands-on part of printmaking is so attractive to you? Or like, what do you think draws you to that? I guess I don't know. Oh, that's really beautiful.
I think it's the idea of touching a surface and the changing and they created the texture with my own hands.
Yeah.
So like I have more of those prints that I can show you. So you see, like, this one I was just doing a test. So I print the red first with a very thin paper, like a rice paper.
Yeah.
And then I just print the blue on top. Got a very different image than just having one print together.
So on this paper here, the thinner pieces, is that is its own final piece?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, so would you present it on this paper? This is like archival.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I haven't really worked with it before.
Yeah, I can mostly use Proscinkole. It's like 100% the best paper for that. But I can present like that. There is no problem. It's just like a very thin paper, and if you're not tearing apart or using, you just have to be very careful.
Yeah.
I really love it. It looks like a fabric.
It really does.
It does, right?
beautiful.
That's why it's so nice. I love to create with this paper. It's really like gives a whole other thing.
And this is this block right here?
Yeah.
This print? Wow. That is so gorgeous.
And I print at least this one. When I say I print it with my hand, I use a wooden spoon to print those. And if I did it with my feet, I just do it with a cardboard on top.
So would you use the spoon over the back of the paper on top of the block?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I put the paper and I use the spoon. So you see, if it is this one, for example, you can see a little bit the spoon coming
you
out,
can
like
see
a
that.
texture.
I was literally just wondering in my mind how that happened, because I was looking for these marks on the paper on the block, and that makes sense that's the mark of a tool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a sculptural 2D medium. It's such an interesting thing.
Yeah.
In the paper it helps. And I love to do also like sculpture with paper.
Yeah.
So create anything out of printmaking for me that becomes like a sculpture with like papier mâché or just like this paper that is so thin, like any kind of like Asian paper, like Thai paper or Chinese paper, like the Japanese paper, which is these ones, like all the ones I have it right now. They're great to create like some kind of sculpture with paper, and I'm out for it.
Yeah. That's sick.
So like this one is a print also did by feet, I believe. And it's just like not the best one, but you can still see like.
Wow.
I printed on the back because I feel I could still use it. To use like just this part.
Yeah. That looks so cool, the stark against the black and against the white like that. You can see almost every line.
That's why I like this paper. They're all transparent and you can like see the back.
Wow.
All of them you can see like the back of them.
I love this long one here that's with the gray ink on the back.
Like you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one it's really nice. Believe this one color Kitakata. And if you see, they have like some kind of texture here.
Oh wow.
See?
So, and to clarify with the foot paintings, that means though you would lay down the block and put the paper atop it and you stand on it.
Yeah, with a cardboard.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, gotcha.
That is beautiful. And is this a special kind of ink on this, like this color here? Is it like a
No, it's just
a warm gray almost?
This I believe is a mix of sepia, maybe.
Oh.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah, and this one was not even the best. That's why I'm using. And I have others that I did it with blue. Yeah. I did it with blue. I did it with black. I think I post on my Instagram. I can show you guys later.
Neat. Yeah.
I did it in special paper. That's the thing about printmaking. There's so many different papers out there for you to try.
Yeah.
That is like excited. It's so excited. Just like to go to any kind of art shop and then buy all just different papers. Like when I was in school, I would go like across the street to the SMFA store.
Yeah.
And would buy like Thai paper, banana paper, or this paper is like, oh, it's more like handmade paper. Is there a name? No, it's just handmade paper. Yes, let's buy it. Like any kind of paper was just so nice to experiment,
Yeah, because the same block must come out so different on the depending on the paper texture.
It gets so different so many times.
Wow.
Because that's the thing about printmaking. You can be like, some people would not agree with me, but I believe you can be the best master print of all times no print's gonna be exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be something different, you know, a little bit shadow in one place, there's gonna be more or less in another place.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like so beautiful, because it's made by hand and it's always gonna be different. And that's what I love about printmaking.
That's really interesting. Because then even though it's a stamp and they're prints, they're all original pieces because they're all different based on the application.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And obviously you can still create a variation no matter what.
Yeah.
Like these guys that I was showing to you.
We love that one in all red.
And remember, this all made just by hand and feet, and
So
on the press would be totally different. Not
Wow.
totally, but like the ink could be more like assertive, I could say.
Yeah.
But I think there's some kind of it's a little bit more pressures, you know,
Yeah.
like that.
Could you tell us a little bit about the press used, or like would that be like, is that like an attainable kind of machine or equipment to get?
It's like a big press. It depends the studio. Like Mass Art, we had this big French press that was able to do wood blocks, copper plates, I think even like some lithography too. But it depends always the studio. But I can show you a photo.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself in the future maybe working out of some kind of studio, or like having some kind of large press of your own?
Yeah, I hope one day, or be part of a community studio. That would be amazing for me. Be part of a studio that I can just, you know, always collab with other people, have a little exhibition in the place.
Yeah.
And they keep exhibiting my work anywhere else, because it's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting recognition that people know your work, you will like it, and maybe even can change their lives. You know, like that's the kind of work I want to bring. I want to bring work that can change people's lives, that can bring joy, that can be something good. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really common with print, the printmaking world and communities, is collective studios. Is that because because of the presses? Like, because those are so hard to get probably and find the space for.
And they're big.
Oh, is the rain starting up a little bit? If you want, maybe we could run over to that over there to escape the rain if it's going to start up.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah?
Want to ruin your stuff.
Yeah, let me just roll up.
Of course.
This is a little bit off topic, but I was reading the article that you sent over about queer identity and how that ties in with your work. Do you want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, of course.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, all these bodies that I did with my friend,
Yeah.
it's all queer bodies, because that's what I realized. The community that I was talking about,
Yeah.
it's a queer community.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
I don't think I was happier before having a queer community
Yeah.
in Boston, you know? Like, being in the US, I think it's essential to have some kind of community, some kind of friends, family that can give you the support that I was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
That sometimes school is not enough, especially if you're not going to be in school forever.
Yeah. That's definitely true, especially with something as like central as queer identity. Like Brian and I are both queer too, and finding spaces like that, especially in Boston, can be a little bit like, they definitely exist, but they're kind of tricky to find sometimes. So it can be really important to find that kind of like people who really understand your experience every day.
Yeah, in every queer person has a different experience too.
Yeah.
So you cannot like just think you are going to be helping someone doing this.
Yeah.
This hill's getting pretty steep. Okay, made it to the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think that is like a pretty fuck it,
thing.
rain-free area. So what was your personal journey like, I guess, maybe throughout leaving your home city and doing all this traveling and ultimately ending up in Boston? What was it like on your travels and stuff, and throughout I guess, your time in Europe, like in terms of queer identity and community and stuff like that?
I think I could say come to the US, it was the hardest for me.
The U.S.?
Yeah. Come to the US was the hardest for me because I never thought I would be coming here. And I didn't know what to expect from people, from the place, or from anything.
Yeah.
So it was such a surprising, shocking thing with everything because I didn't know anything or anyone before. Like, I had a partner, but he was very shy and introvert, so he didn't know much people too.
Yeah.
You know, and he was very depressed as well. There was a lot of things happening. So when I came here, I was like overwhelmed at the same time, not knowing what to do. But so being here and not knowing a lot of people and only having him, it slowly pushed me to meet more people, especially when we separated. When we separated, it was kind of off a push. You know, you have to meet new people.
Yeah.
And you have to meet only queer people now.
Yeah.
Because I've been in so many like groups of straight people that it just never felt safe and happy as I'm feeling now.
Yeah.
You know, and finding a queer community was everything for me here. It
Wow.
changed my life because before I feel I was so much lost, you know, in life, and even my artwork. Like, I mean, my whole artwork is about my friends and my connection.
Yeah.
And the community I have here, and how, and even the way I feel about myself and my body,
Yeah.
it came from have experience with queer people and being safe.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that kind of like chosen family too.
Yeah. I think that was what tricked me here. I was not expecting for my journey in the US to be so be so open and so much freedom, you know.
That's
because I don't think I was as much open and like free in the meaning of queer before coming here. Because I think coming from Brazil, that is
Yeah.
such a like homophobic country, you know, it was just so hard to come out. It was so hard to be myself there at all.
Yeah.
So for a while, I think I was just like, yes, I would say I was gay, but I was always too much inside because society,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like I always thought my style, or I always thought that I was very androgynous, but only nowadays that I can actually like, yes, I'm mostly androgynous in a gender, and I don't care about gender. And yes, I'm gonna be wanting to people choose they them because I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you kind of understand yourself more. Also, I think helps that I'm older.
Yeah.
But being at school with so many queer people, and then at work finding more queer people, and when you're not being away from straight people for a while, it kind of
Yeah.
helped, you know.
Yeah. Like having other people that are going through the same thing or kind of stepping into themselves in the same way
Yeah.
can be empowering.
And I don't want to say that all my straight people friends were bad, but being with queer people and talking about mental health with queer people and having the support and be open about that and about sexuality, and even like, you know, having partners that were queer too.
Yeah.
It's so much, it feels so much safer and feels so much better to yourself, you know. And I don't think I ever thought that I would start a whole like journey of art and gender in the US at all. I had no idea, but I'm happy it happened for sure.
That's really cool. How do you feel like, what do you feel is different with Boston specifically? Like, what do you think you found here that is different from the other places that you've been in terms of that?
in good things, you mean?
Yeah,
Either or.
way. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of friends that I have, they're not from Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know where you guys from.
Up here.
Boston-ish.
Yeah.
I'm from like an hour south, but yeah.
Gotcha. No, like a lot of my friends that we had experience in Boston, like they were like really rough.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that the people here like are very rude.
Yeah.
So like literally I would go travel somewhere. Like I went for the first time to LA. Yeah, I told I was living here, but I was originally from Brazil.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. People in Boston are so rude."
It's true.
I'm like, "It's true. I'm sorry." So thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, but that's the thing. You understand that, and like, I kind of know that. But sometimes I feel like I have to hold myself to not also be rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets contagious.
You get contagious.
Yeah.
You get into, you know, and I mean, it's specific situations. And I don't know, maybe because it's stressful, you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't look at Boston as like a big city.
It's really
So
not, yeah.
I don't see as stressful as that, you know. But it's also not a small city. So
Yeah.
it feels like this big city college town,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's true. It's like I've heard a lot of people theorize about why it is like why it is kind of shitty in terms of like attitude, like, and it's really true. But like, you know, the traffic, the people yelling at each other on the streets, like, I feel like it's kind of, I think it could be kind of historical reaching into now, and I also think a lot of it could have to do with the winter and just the seasons and stuff, and like, it's because you can't live here without like basically doing physical labor like every year, like you have to like shovel out your car, like you like there's like so much that you, I don't know, versus a place that's like maybe
walking too, because I can't wait for buses sometimes. When I get a blue bike, I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah.
Like that's the good thing about the city. It's easy to walk, and
Thank God.
and everything is parked, and it's nice to walk, you know. But like, oh my God, I cannot wait for buses sometimes.
Because sometimes they just don't show up, or the train is just like on fire randomly.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like, it's not coming because it's a fire at South Station. Sorry.
Like that was literally like the time that I was separated from my ex-partner. It was like around 2019.
Yeah.
I got addicted to blue bikes, so it was like I got this like discount from a place I was working.
Yeah.
So I paid only $30
Oh, nice.
the whole year.
Yeah.
So I was like going everywhere with blue bikes. I was working 2 jobs, an internship. So I was like non-stop. I would work in a friend's house, I'd get a blue bike. I'll go anywhere. And I'll go close to the river. So I spend the summer like getting the summer rains, and then getting hot off the summer all in front of the river. But like I was like, okay, Boston, you're getting to me. Maybe I'm gonna like it like that.
So you were just up and down the Charles River?
Many times, because I would go from Harvard to Massart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild, and then Brighton.
Yeah. Wow.
Also, this is like a random connection. We talked about it briefly over message, but just to touch on it now, the way that we connected is because you work with my best friend's partner.
Yeah.
I met from Alex. I worked at the Museum of Fine Arts with her for like 2 years. And I'm not going to say it on the podcast unless you want to, but where you work, I also used to work after that. So,
I used to work on trade shows?
yeah. And assembly row. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's funny.
Yeah. Fun grocery store.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's
Great products.
The millennial grocery store.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's true. It saves the life of the millennials, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It is funny though. Another thing I was going to say is that I feel like the art scene is so, like, it's vibrant and there's so many different aspects of it, but it's small. Like, you end up meeting the same people if you're in it long enough in Boston, which is kind of a nice thing, honestly.
Yeah. What did your, I guess, connection to the city and maybe to some of the arts communities look like before the pandemic? Like, were you going to maybe events and stuff, or gallery stuff ever, or?
See, that's the thing that I didn't realize that was happening. Like, I wanted to go to places, I want to be part of communities, but because of school, I didn't have time at all. I was just like full-time student plus working 1-2 jobs.
Yeah.
So I never had the time. So when pandemic hit, I got connected to the Humphrey Studios. So we go there to do some wood blocking or spray painting, and then I got connected to a lot of people.
Cool.
A lot of people from Dorchester, Roxbury. I was living in Dorchester, Roxbury, so that was easier to stuff in JP.
Yeah.
So I started to notice more art in the city too. And just yesterday I went to SOA to see the
fun.
market there. I talked to this amazing lady in the Boston Sculpture Gallery. It's
Cool.
things that I could not do it before because school. You
Yeah.
know? So it's kind of like balance a little bit, because the only thing I would do in school would go to museums because it's next door, or because I needed to go.
Yeah.
You know, libraries. So it kind of didn't help me a lot when I was in school to get out a little bit
Yeah.
and see the community. But I'm happy I did it, and hopefully I will more now.
Yeah. So it's like the pandemic just coincidentally almost helps with that aspect of
Yeah,
it.
it did help.
Yeah.
That's when I realized that I could like teach and connect to people super easy.
Yeah.
Because anyone would arrive to the studio and they would ask me what I do. I would show, and they're like, "Oh, what do you mean with that?" And I'm like, "Sit here. let me show you what printmaking is." And then I will show with a drummer. I will show with a carving tool. I will call them to help me to print.
That's
Or
so cool.
if you hold this, help me with this, and then let's do this together. And then I accidentally kind of, because my hand hurt in my arm or my neck, I would just like ask for help for someone, and then kind of like connect them to printmaking with me. You know what I mean?
That's really cool. So do you feel like, because I feel like we talked to some artists before that, maybe not on the podcast, but just in general, that maybe collaborating is something that they only do with like certain people, or it's just kind of vulnerable for them, and it seems like you love that, and that it really feeds your work. And I know you were saying as far as models go that it's kind of a thing where different people will lend something new to the project, and like it gives you kind of a different experience working with different people. Do you feel like that's the same thing with collaborating on the actual artwork and like teaching and stuff, or do you think that that's kind of different, gives you something else?
Wait, what was your question?
Do you think that you get something, like what do you think you get out of collaborating? That because some artists don't really like doing that, so it's really interesting to hear you say that you like it so much.
Yeah.
I think it's fun personally, but
I think it's fun,
Yeah.
mostly. And I like to see in people's face what they see they do it.
yeah,
You know, like I literally remember showing a friend, you see, you just carve this. You don't need to go too deep. You just do this. Very easy. And they look, and then they doing it, and they're smiling. So like, when I see someone smiling because they did something nice when they're making, oh my God, I get so happy. My heart is like, it gets all full. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It's so pretty.
That's awesome.
You know, like
Yeah.
just making someone to learn a new technique.
Yeah.
I realize that makes them really happy.
yeah,
So do you see yourself maybe in the future being involved in arts education at all,
Probably.
or teaching?
Probably. I thought about doing the mass art program, but you know, pandemic, loans, let's go easy.
Yeah.
I also thought about applying for grad school. I think I only applied for 1 or 2 places, but I wasn't thinking really well because it was like right in the beginning. I
Yeah.
didn't even stop. Like I went from 1 semester to focus on essays, and then started the semester. So it was too crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to stop. But I intend to, the future, hopefully, to teach more.
Cool.
But mostly because it's school, like I noticed that I like to collaborate with people because school would tell us, oh, collaborate with this person. And what I would notice is like I like how the piece change.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I like when I collaborate with another artist that is not someone that doesn't know how to do it yet.
yeah,
Like I collaborate with this friend. She would do one drawing, and then I would do another drawing,
yeah,
and then she would do another drawing, and then I did another drawing, and then she cut it out everything, and then I went there and did something else, and then gave it to her, and then last thing she cut it out everything and put it like a little sew something there with a crochet.
Oh wow.
A crochet what's the name for that?
A needle, a crochet needle.
No, just the line of the crochet coming
Oh, like
out.
a little stitch?
Yeah, a little stitch
wow.
coming out and holding something else of the drawing.
That's really
And
cool.
I was like, okay, you won.
That's awesome.
And that was like one of the best assignments I did in school. It was like just keep changing over and over.
Yeah.
You and the other artist, one like kind of battling the other drawing to change it, you know. And
Yeah.
it comes out something very interesting from that.
Yeah, and it comes out in something that neither of you would have made on your own. too.
Yeah.
Like a third language almost.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. It's like you create something even more stronger, more interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what is there for me, to always reach to more and more.
That's really cool. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I think that it can be a rare thing or a really special thing for the type of artist that is like really focused on their experience with other people and other artists, because there are a lot of people, I kind of fall into this category a lot, people who are very solitary, and I like to be alone, or like, but I can't do it all the time, but it's a very special thing for me when I get to collaborate with somebody, or I get to get that input and absorb something from another person. And I think that that's usually facilitated by someone like you, or like Theo is a lot like this too, people who are like extremely outgoing artistically. So I guess this isn't really a question, but I guess it's just really cool to hear your perspective in terms of like wanting to really get involved with other people. Like we talked to another artist, Lily Faye, who is very much relates to that same kind of mission, where her thing, a lot of it involves like parties and events and like passing canvases around and things like that.
Like
and,
shared sketchbook stuff.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's just such a beautiful thing. Do you think, actually, this is an interesting thought, how do you think, maybe we already covered this in some way, but how do you think you arrived at that? Do you think it's just your personality, like...
No, I could say it's because my mom.
Yeah.
Because my mom, she was like an autonomous seller. So she would like, go to the importer place that has like perfumes from Europe. And she'll get those perfumes and take somewhere to sell it. They get commission
Okay.
from those. And she'll do that with perfumes, with clothing, with many other different things. And when you are a kid, you are a teenager, you don't want to just stay at home all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you start growing up, you want to go out, you want to do stuff. So I would want to go out all the time, especially when I make friends. And then my mom's like, you want to go out all the time, things cost money, go to work. And I'm like, okay, let me work. Oh, but you're still a minor, but you can go with me, you can see how we do. So I slowly would go with her, and she would always play with me. You're too shy. You have to be more outgoing.
Yeah.
Especially because if you wanna do theater, you have to be better at that. So I think slowly, by working with her and then also doing theater, I got more outgoing. But I feel like we're doing this conversation about art. So it's something that my teacher says that when I'm doing artwork, sometimes I get a little bit manic.
Yeah.
And I have friends that also, like, the way they talk is like, sometimes you can only talk about art, only about printmaking, Lauren. Like, come on. And I think that's what happens, like, we're talking about art right now. So, like, I'm gonna be connected to the, like, very focused to the topic.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm gonna just feel, if it's not that topic, I'm probably gonna feel more like introvert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, when
it's
you're
like,
not talking about art.
Yeah.
Oh.
That can
Makes
happen.
sense.
Huh.
Yeah, unless we talk about art all the time, I'm gonna be connected.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that's like your thing.
Yeah.
That makes
I don't
sense.
know how to explain, but it's something that I noticed by my friends talking, saying that when it's about art, I can always talk. And that's what I noticed. I was tired one day, and I didn't want to do anything, but we were traveling, and we were chilling, everybody, and they were talking, and I was quiet.
Sorry.
Was it like birds or animals or something making noise?
Savage.
Birds like fighting in the trees. Go on.
Yeah, they got me lost. But yeah, so my friends would always like realize how I would be talkative about art, even though I was tired.
Yeah.
That's what was happening, like, sometimes when I was hanging out with friends. I was tired and not talking at all.
Yeah.
Be super, super quiet. But if it was art, I would just talking and stopping.
That's cool.
So I realized, if you want to make me talk, that's the lead.
That's awesome. So what are some things about art, like are there some concepts that you're thinking about recently, or things that you've been excited about, that you've been talking to people about related to your art?
So my art was always very focused in mental health and trauma.
Yeah.
And even though I'm trying to do a lot of queer bodies and gender expression work and focus a lot of this part of myself,
Yeah.
and I also like the trauma and the mental health is there, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel there's no way to run away. It's together, so it's gonna be there. But something that I worked in the past was with political injustice works a lot that I wanna try to bring back.
Yeah.
So I literally was talking to my best friend about that, how to bring back, how like to put some political issues, but more connect to, you know, queer
Yeah.
bodies or queer spaces or something to queer, you know, political queer issues or
Yeah.
something. Because I focus a lot during pandemic on Black Lives Matter issues and like people of color, and how like even like I remember doing some kind of work about the color and how like the color, sometimes there was a lot of talking in the community about the color, how it's like different, you're darker but you're not that dark.
Yeah.
And that happened especially like in Brazil, because I think in the 90s the government tried to like say that everybody was mixed, so there's no racism and there's no anything there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the governor really pushed it hard, and there was a lot of confusion. There's people, sometimes they're black and they call themselves brown, were not even that,
Yeah.
because the government pushed a lot.
Huh.
So I was trying to do work about that. I did a lot of work about the kids in the cages,
Yeah, yeah.
because me as an immigrant, I felt like I have to do more work about immigration. So I was watching Orange is the New Black in the time too. So I was doing a lot of work about like the desert and the people that get lost in the desert.
Yeah.
I had even exhibition to coming up in my own head that I was trying to put up together on Dark Room on Mass Art right before pandemic.
Oh, man.
But then pandemic happened, so I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But the exhibition is all in my head. It's written. I still want to do it. Maybe it's gonna be more connected to queer. We don't know yet.
We'll get there.
We get there. But maybe it was not supposed to be, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm someone that thinks a lot how everything happened the right time.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it wasn't supposed to be in that time, and maybe it will be in the future. Or maybe
Yeah.
it will be more queer.
It'll give more
political
time to
issues.
develop.
Maybe
Yeah.
more time, you know, because it was a very big, ambitious exhibition that I had in mind.
Yeah.
So I think maybe some more experience and more right times to happen.
So how did that work with graduating from the Bachelor's of Fine Arts program or
Yeah.
printmaking? You probably were supposed to have like a final show or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
are you still gonna get to do
no,
that?
we didn't have it.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I remember like walking around the student gallery. It was around, I think, February or March. I was trying to understand what I was gonna do. I was lost. I was having this whole block on my art. And I was just walking there because I was trying to get like some free food that my art was giving to us. It was really nice. So I was just walking there. I saw the student gallery like full of math, like just like scrap stuff, like
Yeah.
wood and other stuff. And I just like had this whole mental breakdown. I'm
Aw.
like, I wish my work was here, and you know how like things were supposed to be before. And what's that? But like, you know,
Yeah.
just trying to keep moving now.
Yeah. I
It
feel
was
like
hard.
I was gonna say, I feel like for a lot of people, like when you were saying the end of your relationship in the past was like a forced growth moment, I feel like the pandemic has done that for a lot of people too, that people lost so much and so much was taken away and so many people passed away, but what are we gonna do with it now, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think what it hit was like during pandemic, how everything happened. I also was in a relationship in the time, so it was like as if my whole life was put in a stop mode and no one told me about it. And then I'm like, what am I gonna do now? You know? So I was just very thankful I had the Humphrey Studios to work with Jen, the designer there. So it was really nice to have the time to focus and try to like heal from this whole crazy time in the world that was happening. But it was wild. And when I graduated, I was like, is this graduation?
Like, it's just over.
It's this? Like, I didn't want to go to college when I was 19, 18. And now I'm done. Is this what it means? Like, I had no idea what it meant. Like, I don't know what is, like, graduation, because it was just me having some barbecue, some barbecue time, and grilling veggies, and having my friend Jordan playing guitar. And we were having some drinks and chilling in the park. That was graduation.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, I just don't know what graduation in those terms, what is done with school, because, you know, pandemic hit such a strange way. I don't know what to think.
There's no finality. It's just
like, it felt school was done. Like, I was coming back to the studio to do hybrid. But it felt weird. It felt I didn't want to be there, even though it was my favorite place in the world. You know, it was a weird time. Especially when it hit a year of pandemic. I was like, what's happening here? Why we're not done with this?
I know. Good question.
And I'm like, I got vaccinated, and it hurt, and I got sick. It's still happening. Wow.
Yeah, we'll see how the next couple months go.
It's so funny because if this podcast is like remembered at all in the future, it's like we think we're making it about art, but like there probably hasn't been a single recording where we haven't talked about the pandemic.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? And it's not like, I guess we'll probably be talking about it forever, but if somebody is listening to this in the future that wasn't here for this is probably going to be like, oh, some pandemic content. Like, you know?
It's weird.
I mean, that's what my teacher told us when we were like in school. They're like, come on guys, this is the time used to make work. Like, I was doing Zoom studios with him, and like meeting a lot of people were like, I don't know what I would do without him, because he was like being super supportive to us. And, like, he's still helping. I talked to him yesterday about this podcast, and like,
oh, that's great.
Cool. He's like a great supporter. He always like, keep doing your work, keep doing this. My other teacher, like, I met with her after school just to see her, to talk about things, and we had like a glass of wine and pizza together, me and other friends, and she was like, keep doing art. Keep doing art, because in this world, that's all we have right now.
It's true.
And it's true, like, we don't know what's gonna happen to the art world. We don't know what's gonna happen to the world. So all we have right now is art. It's true.
It's crazy, because it's like, I feel like growing up and like being in art school and like envisioning what was going to be my 20s or like adulthood as an artist, I was like, I want something huge to happen. Like, I want to live through something historical. And
oh my god, yeah.
I didn't expect this.
Oh my god, it was you.
I know.
You asked for it.
Something fucking happened.
Oh my god.
Here we are.
I definitely remember like thinking I wanted to be an artist, but I definitely remember like thinking that the future, you know, like the 2020 would be something like, you know, futuristic, like
Chrome.
Odyssey, like, you know, with like spaceships. And I guess like he went to space and he went to turn the space into the Earth. I don't know. It was some weird thing that happened there that I didn't understand why he went there. But okay.
Good question. Just
but,
like, I guess.
Yeah, like we like, you know, the drones with some leprechauns on top, right? Like that's what we saw in the movies, right? So that was the future or something, but not pandemic, like aliens maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I wanted when I was a kid. Like, I want aliens to show up.
Yeah, I would still like that.
We're getting there.
Might as well have that happen.
It might still happen.
If Jeff Bezos keeps poking the bear up there, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, it's like, what do you prefer? Continue pandemic or aliens? Let's go aliens.
Yeah, actually, shit.
It's
That's true.
someone new at least, right?
It'd be more exciting.
Yeah, get to know someone new is always cool.
Yeah,
so why not?
Oh,
Maybe we
Friends.
can collab.
Yeah, let's do some collab.
Collab with aliens.
I will teach you. I will learn how to make remake. Remake will happen in their lives. Some wood blocks, lean onion, the easy
man.
stuff.
Moon rock prints.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that would be
Actually,
actually
be dope.
Even the rubber ones. We can do the rubber ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that would be such a dream.
So also to double back a little bit, something that caught my attention that you talked about, you have some professors or some of your teachers throughout your time you still have a relationship with and you meet with and speak with and hang out with. So I have similar a mentor that is I have a similar relationship to that when I was in school. I didn't graduate, but where she says that is a kind of dying experience for a lot of college students right now, where she says that in the 80s and 90s and 70s or whatever, that it was really common to have that kind of connection and that kind of mentorship and outside of the classroom and things like that. And she says it's a really special and integral part of arts education that's now missing. You know what I mean?
Lineage.
Yeah, like that lineage and that knowledge being passed down from person to person.
Wow. I think you really have to go for it. You have to really contact them.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason a teacher is gonna contact you,
Yeah.
but you can find all the reasons they would contact them.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite teachers, she's a student manager in mass art in the print shop, and I know she's busy all the time, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard. But I try once, I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
At least you say hi, like hi, don't forget me.
Yeah.
I resist. Like when I have a show, I want you there. You
Yeah.
know? And I'm not doing that because I want them to give me a job or something. I want them to still have the connection.
Yeah.
Because they inspire me, so they support me. If I see them one day in any of my shows, I'm gonna be so happy because they're part of the education that help me to build who I am today.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be something big for them, but something big. Something that can be small for them can be big for me. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
true.
and
Yeah.
and it sounds like what you're saying is that those relationships, those friendships, you have to like take effort, like to
Yeah.
actually reach out and like be people's friend,
Yeah.
and like just actually be there. And I think I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess, acknowledge or kind of talk about like I think that's really cool that you have that, and because something we talked about is that. We meet a lot of really, really amazing artists and really intelligent, like just really, really interesting people. And one common thing is that they have that,
Yeah.
like you do. You know what I mean?
Like, even there's a teacher, she always go on Trace Joe. She's not art teacher. She was like a teacher that taught us a lot about different subjects related to art,
Yeah.
but like conceptual works a lot. And I learned a lot in her class. And she's an amazing teacher and she's a nice person. So every time I see her, I engage a conversation with her.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know, like she's a person after all. So-
That's true, and I think that's the thing, like, I don't know if it's like a college institutional problem or if it's just a perspective thing being a student, but I feel like a lot of people lose sight of that, and I definitely did. I probably lost out on some connections when I was younger that way, because there's a sort of transactional kind of like, maybe if I reach out to them, they'll give me a better grade, or like maybe I can get a job later if I know this professor,
Yeah.
like I'll save their business
Yeah.
card. And it's like, that person is also just a genuinely interesting person that maybe says things that make you laugh or that are a different perspective you wouldn't have had, because the way they're thinking about things is important too, not just their status.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you.
I think keeping that human element in your brain is important,
Yeah.
like you're saying.
I think it also like what can happen sometimes for some kids is like sometimes the teachers treat them too much like kid,
Yeah.
and they sometimes like because people are so young when they go to college here.
Yeah.
Right. So I
18.
feel like they never worked before, so they are kind of like babies for
Yeah.
some teachers. But I realized that some people actually grow out of that. The teachers like really like treat them different.
Yeah.
But some kids, you can see like the teacher's still gonna treat them like a kid.
Yeah.
maybe because they don't trust them, or because they just don't think they're gonna, be serious about artwork or be serious about things.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I think there's hope for everybody,
Yeah, it's true. Especially someone who's just inexperienced.
Yeah.
Like, eventually you'll get it.
Yeah.
You hope.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the biggest lessons I learned around that age, because I didn't complete school, but I started it at that age, like 18, 19. And some of the lessons I was learning, I did not know I was learning. And I realized it, or I like the knowledge hit me like, oh shit, like years later, after the fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I think a big part of it is because some of the people that I'm talking about that taught me a lot took me seriously when maybe I was kind of a kid. You know what I mean? I was maybe stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or didn't know what I was talking about, but they respected me and listened to me anyway. And that, I don't know what that did, but I think it led me to maybe take myself seriously.
Yeah.
And be like, maybe I'm not a joke.
That's good.
Maybe I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
And that much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend, because they're like saying sorry for some stuff, and they're like, oh, sorry this, sorry that, or I was like, you don't need to say sorry for anything. You can say just thank you for this or thank you for that. Remember what our teacher taught us? We don't say sorry for nothing.
Yeah.
We go there and we do the stuff we have to do it. And like, I feel like a lot of people in art school sometimes, like, a lot of introverts probably, but a lot of people are like, oh, sorry I did this, or I didn't mean to do this drawing like that.
Yeah.
Or it was too much, or there's always some kind of asking to be sorry.
Yeah.
And I think I was a lot like that too. And this teacher helped me to have the confidence that I didn't have it before.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
She was a big inspiration too.
Yeah. That is a big thing that I feel like not even just beginners do, like everybody does that, is like over apologizing sometimes, or kind of making excuses for the things that you're about to say before you posit something. And we were talking about that the other day, that sometimes people come across as intimidating, and then you really reflect on what they're saying, and it's just that they're being firm. They're
right,
not actually like...
They're not mean, they're just being straight with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's hard for people to realize the difference about being straight and not be rude.
Yeah.
I could totally see that happening to Brazilians. Brazilians will not notice the difference. They will think someone's just be rude today. You're very sensitive. Like, I speak out of experience, because a lot of my friends think I'm very rude.
Oh.
Because I'm very straightforward. I'm very honest with my words.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of it. It's also interesting to note, because to me you come off with your art and just in this conversation is really confident and really sure of what you're saying in your art, and I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
And it's interesting to notice that you're saying that you weren't like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Was that in the beginning of your education, like at Mass Art?
Yeah.
And it was through that experience and having these people in your life teaching you and these friends.
Yeah, like all the support I got in Mass Art is essential. Like the teachers, friends. Sometimes you're doing work, but you don't realize what you're doing. You're just like stressed with the project, and you don't stop to notice. You don't know what you're doing. Like, even this work that it came out in the magazine that you saw.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing the work, and it's like my teacher was saying, oh, sometimes I get a little manic, because I was printing one print after the other, no stop. And like, this last semester I tried to take it easy, actually. But like, I had times that I stayed in the studio 16 hours.
Wow.
Printing no stop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Wow.
Intense. I'm really getting to, so that's like another level for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, because that's what is printmaking about it. It's like the label work.
Yeah.
So you're not just doing a drawing. You're getting your whole body there.
Yeah.
You like rolling up the ink, and you're printing the press. Like
Carving and
like, it's really using your back and your whole body. Like, I remember a friend saying, like, this is like Jing. What the hell? Like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, well, you go to gym, don't you? So just
Right.
just someone work there.
That's so funny.
Like, but I didn't bring the right clothes for this. Like, for the gym, I go with the right clothes and everything. I'm like, just complaining. Work a little bit hard on printmaking. That's fine.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, what an exciting thing. I've never thought about printmaking like that because it definitely is a medium that, that involves your whole person.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like it is like very physically engaging, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm only talking, about, we're mostly talking about woodblock
Yeah.
here. And we can go about lithography and etching and screen printing. Screen printing is funny because when people talk printmaking, that's the first thing that comes to their mind, right?
They think of like
Screen
t-shirts
printing.
and stuff.
And I'm like, every time someone like think, even a t-shirt, people think the t-shirt is screen printing. Sometimes I do t-shirts, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I never actually got to take the class. So I don't know how to do screen printing. And they're like, I can see like a confusion thing like showing up in their face.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I do wood blocks, I do tactile etching like copper, and then I have to explain to them because they don't even realize that it's other stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, like the rubber linoleum, yes.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that's not the first thing people think when they say printmaking.
Interesting. That makes sense, I guess, because I guess a lot of people that don't have maybe an arts background, the most of their exposure to prints are probably things like postcards and t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like commercial kind of things.
I
Oh, yeah.
didn't know like much either before I doing.
Yeah.
Like I see it, but I didn't realize what it was,
Yeah.
So like I knew wood block, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because wood block is very like strong in the like cultural art in Brazil. So it's like very from the northeast. There's a lot of like wood blocks to tell stories
Oh, wow.
that they do it. So it's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it comes from Portuguese tradition.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Is woodblock carving originated in Portugal or Brazil?
No, I mean like the idea of tell a story over the wood block. It's like a specific way of tell a story that comes from Portugal. That Brazilians do a lot of that in their own, like to tell like a legend.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
a little story of the village. So they would use like a wood block to draw, and then do many wood blocks, and they do a little book or like just post around like, oh, this happened, like there's like this thing of like this pink, the pink dolphin.
Not sure.
Dolphin, like a pink dolphin.
Oh, okay,
From
gotcha.
the Amazonas. Like this is one of the stories that, some kind of stories like this, like a legend that they would tell. So like this dolphin, pink dolphin, was in the river and then like conquer this woman, but in the end the pink dolphin is actually a man.
Oh, okay.
Like there's other stories behind.
Yeah.
Like stories like that. They would just like do a little wood block about it.
That's
They tell.
cool.
Yeah.
So did you grow up seeing things like that, like around?
No,
you
because
learned this later.
I learned that later because I grew up in the big city in Sao Paulo.
Okay.
But this is like classical, like very like community things that would do it in the Northeast. Where I was born there, but I didn't grow up there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the paradise of beaches that people like to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will buy stuff like that, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's funny because it would be super cheap there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like $5 or less,
Oh, wow. For the wood blocks?
probably.
Wow.
No, not wood blocks. Sometimes
print.
they would sell wood
for the
blocks,
prints.
but they
Right.
would, for the print or
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that.
That
But
makes more
sometimes
sense.
sometimes they would sell like wood blocks or like sculpture wooden.
Yeah.
A lot of sculptures too, like wooden sculptures.
That's
they have in
interesting.
Brazil.
You know, what was something I'm always curious about with communities, with like coastal or like seaside communities in different regions, is whether or not their art or the local art relates at all to like northeastern, like Cape Cod or like New England type things in some way.
It's weird because I feel like the town that I grew up in is a beach town, and it has such a very distinct. Well, it's
Aesthetic.
Plymouth, Mass.
Right, Plymouth,
So it's like
yeah.
the Pilgrims, like Plymouth Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I mean, whatever. But the art there is very specifically like Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So do you wanna see a press that I meant to show you?
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, sure.
Never did it. I'm trying to find one that is not super old. I don't know why they show you like the oldest one. I found one. So this is like the one we had at Massar. It's a French press.
Oh, cool.
Oh, what is it?
So, oops, not this one. So you see it's a really big one.
Wow.
And then you put the paper in there.
And that must distribute like like a lot of weight onto the block.
Yeah.
And onto the page.
Yeah, the cylinder thing is when the weight goes on the block.
Oh, gotcha.
The
Like a
press,
steamroller almost.
Yeah, it's a steamroller that press very strongly.
Yeah.
And then you press the ink from the block into the paper.
So does that make it a more like crisp print, like a thick application of ink compared to if you were doing it by hand?
No, actually, I would do more by hand.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, especially with my hand that is bad, I would just put extra so
Yeah.
I can make sure just do enough, like this stamp,
Yeah.
let's say, to make sure the ink goes to the paper. If it's a thin paper, don't need to do much.
Oh, okay.
But if it's a thick paper, that would be hard.
Yeah.
I would have to like really dance on top.
Did you injure your wrist printmaking?
A little bit, but not much. It was just like a lot of things together. So I was doing like scooping ice cream in the full-time printmaking student and working another job.
Yeah.
So, and then
Wow.
Trade Joe's after started working there
Right.
on the register didn't help.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So that's
now
just
it's like-
just a lot of strain.
Yeah.
Wow,
So now
okay.
it's like my neck and my lower back and my back hurts in my hand.
Oh no.
It's like all connected.
Yeah.
And no one can figure out. Like so far, they said it was carpal tunnel, and then now they say it's like cervical spondylosis,
Oh, wow.
which is like arthritis of the neck. But like technically, I'm too young, so I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep doing. It's more like I heard a lot of artists that has like chronic pain,
Yeah.
and that's why they do art and they keep doing.
Yeah.
I guess it's just gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just work through it, I guess.
Yeah,
Shit,
a lot of
seriously.
CBD and THC to help, and keep going. You know,
There you go. Yeah.
that helps the pain a lot. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, CBD is.
I've heard it's good for like swelling and stuff like that. Is that true? I've never used it.
Yeah.
I use the capsules. Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially my leg has been hurting too. I think because the dancing. I don't know. But
Oh, not that
work-
too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
right?
jeez.
That's why I've been doing more with the spoon in the left side, the
Yeah.
left hand now,
Oh.
to see if it helps. And I've been doing good ones. All the ones I showed you guys was
Yeah.
all with the spoon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so I was surprised. It worked well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been taking these capsules to work,
Yeah.
and it's been helping a lot.
Yeah. I used to smoke CBD flower for a little while, which is kind of weird. It was fine though. It was helpful because I get migraines
yeah.
sometimes. So
I did that for a while too. It
Yeah.
helped, but was not that strong. The
Yeah.
THC has to be there to help.
yeah,
I don't know why.
it was also a weird feeling. Like I was getting it from the shop up here, Good Glass. They had it for a while, like in 2019 or something, and 2018, and it made me feel like different, but not like if I had THC. It was just a weird sensation. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I do like 1-1 all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 1-1 capsules or like mints.
yeah,
Like, it really helped.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't feel anything. I can like do all the printmaking with my hands and dancing, and my back doesn't hurt. And
Yeah.
just go like. Just
Oh, that must be
flows,
amazing.
You know, I can
That's
be
great.
the crazy manic that my teacher talks about. I have no problem.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Being
Oh,
manic
jeez.
about art sounds like a superpower, though.
I feel that way, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought I had a time that I was depressed.
Yeah.
Along when I moved to Boston, so I was drinking a lot instead of like trying to get better. So I was just drinking too much, and then that showed me that like I thought that was helped me to do more art.
Yeah.
Because I will get into more like state that feel more energetic because I feel more anxious when I'm like drinking too much.
Yeah.
So I would like, okay, so I can do art now. So I will do art, but like I'll get drunk first. So I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I have to stop this. So I find out that I can also do that in any stage possible.
Yeah.
But I have to use the CBD THC at least for my pain, my critical pain, so I can keep going. It also helps with anxiety, so it's a plus.
Yeah.
So I can just doing like the artwork, the 40 by 26, 36. They put in the magazine. The artwork we're supposed to do like 21, and that was already like pressure a lot for me. Because
21 at that size?
Yeah, because
wow.
you're so big. So I was like, I'm not gonna do 21. It's very big. I think the teacher maybe is gonna accept less. I don't know. I accidentally did 30th then.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So it works to be manic, I guess. So
yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I could keep talking infinitely. We're about that time.
Oh my
Hour
God.
and 35
Hour and
minutes.
40 minutes
Does
almost.
it feel like it?
No.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's
cool.
those are the best ones.
Yeah.
We think is just people that, flowing and easy conversations,
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I love this talking. You can just go and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is like still like we've been doing this for 7 months, I think, but it still feels like brand new, and it's still really abnormal because like I meet a lot of artists organically, maybe just through people or in normal ways, but it's very different for me to just like meet up with another artist and just be like, hey, like let's discuss art for 2 hours in a park. Like that's very like okay, like no, I don't think anyone's even asked me to do that before. But outside of this podcast, right? It's like it's an excuse at this point just to like go hang out with people.
That's what I loved to do when I was 18, 17.
Yeah.
Like I would go to bars in my city in Sao Paulo and sit in, like I would watch a movie or just talk about this movie I already watching with a friend. I would just sit there and drink a beer.
Yeah.
And then just talk about art and movies, like anything that was art, like music. This artwork that we saw in museum, this movie, that old movie, how about this new movie? This new movie connects to this old movie. And what do you think about this drawing? I just did it. And, like, this is the kind of conversations you aim for life.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. Is that really nostalgic for you? Like, do you miss those times?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's I don't know why, it's hard to find more people to do this.
Yeah.
It definitely can be. Yeah, I think like, especially once you leave the kind of formal art setting, like school or like, or you're really isolated or something, and for whatever reason, like, I don't know. I think it's similar. It's a similar effect of finally being around queer people, like finally being around people you can talk about art with. Like we're like, because like spending a lot of time with people who don't make art, obviously it's like whatever, it's fine. But once you can't, like you do make that connection, it's like,
and that's the thing
really
with me.
nice.
I don't know if I always go to someone that is creative or that is do art, because even someone that doesn't do art around me, technically,
it activates.
It activates. Literally, one of my close friend, like, technically they're not an artist, but I see them as a hairdresser artist for me now. Because they're the only person that touches to change my hair all the time. And I literally, like, last time they were like cutting and then putting some ink, and I was like, I'm feeling the creativity coming. Go on.
I love that.
And they're like, okay. And they're like just buzzing my hair in different ways, and I was feeling it. I'm like, I like this moment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how even to explain. It just feels it's happening,
Yeah.
And everybody in the same day was doing something, or like drawing, or sketching, or printing.
Yeah.
So it feels like everybody's there for a reason, and the reason is art is something inside you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, you don't need to be. Because I always tell someone, you don't need to be to do art to be an artist.
Yeah.
Because if you draw a couple lines, you're still gonna feel something inside you.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like with people, like, there's been a bunch of people that we've interviewed for the podcast or that we've talked to about interviewing for the podcast that said, I do painting, printmaking, sewing, knitting, whatever, but I'm not an artist, so I don't think I could do it. It's like, dude,
Oh my god.
you just have to do the thing.
We've run into that a couple of times where it's like, and I think it's that confidence, or like people who like maybe they don't have it for some reason, or maybe even someone took it away from them or something, but like
I always tell people, no, you don't need to be an artist.
Yeah.
And they eventually, like my best friend, they will say all the time they're not an artist, and they did art school, but like they had bad moments there that they tried to stay away, and they come back to art. So they was like, if you think about, you paint, you draw, you do printmaking, you sew, you do so much, you actually have multimedia artist.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, you are. Like, you just not realizing that.
Yeah.
And now, like, when I see my friends, like, striving, I literally tell them, like, you're an artist. Even if you don't think you are. Because anyone can be one. They don't need a degree for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's gatekeeping to say that you do.
It is.
It really is.
yeah, holy shit. Wow.
I could get fired up about that topic.
Me too. Like,
Yeah.
I have friends that, that would go to the Humphrey Studios when I was there.
Yeah.
And I'll make, like, they spray paint with me. And then I did, like, wood blocks that I would just spray paint with them.
Yeah.
And then they were like, but I'm not an artist. I'm like, who cares? You just did the spray paint on this wood block with me.
Yeah.
So
you made
why,
art.
Yeah, you made art. Like, do you care about the title for yourself?
Yeah.
You can put artist or not. It's up to you. I don't mind. Like, for me, it's you. You work with me on this. Do you like this? I like it. I don't know why it's so good. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what matters. You like it, hey, that's done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that is its own gift, though, is to be able to bring that out of people.
Yeah.
Because there are people that are talented or expressive or like do really wonderful things, but may not like that specifically, that bringing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a really its own special quality that you have too, that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
That's like, I don't know, to inspire people, to get people lifted up, and
I see what you mean. And
yeah.
I want to say something funny, but I think, like, working on trade shows actually helped me in the idea of giving compliments to people.
I agree.
You know how, like, they told us they were supposed to do that?
Yeah.
And then I was like, we're supposed to do that no matter what. Why not?
Yeah.
So I started to do that more, and then sometimes I do it that in relation to art.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, your pattern and your colors really looks nice on here.
Yeah.
Even if the person doesn't understand art, I still do it.
Yeah.
But when they do, they're like, oh my god, thank you, like, notice. So I realized that anyone would like compliment, anyone would like if you notice a little thing.
Yeah.
And that's, again, part of the community. That you accidentally gave a little bit of support to someone just by giving a compliment to them about the hair.
Yeah.
Or about the eyelashes. Or, just a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Like how they put a hair mask that made a huge difference in the hair because the curves looks beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, little details on someone's life can make a lot for them and nothing for you.
Yeah. Especially in a position like if you're working customer service or something, because it's hard to remember that or why it might be important. Because, like, say you have to do it for your job or something, it's like you see like 100 people a day. It's not like, maybe not feeling it the whole time, but maybe for that person they didn't see anybody else that day, or you're just a stranger that has no reason to give them a compliment as far as they know. And then you say something nice to them and they'll remember that. So it's like, oh, maybe they, like, it's not my mom saying this, like, maybe they mean it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah, especially in pandemic, that's what I noticed a lot. A lot of people would come to trade show and me just grabbing the cart or take the cart to the car and help them for a little bit, even if my back is hurting, just like for 1 second of my day helping someone with that, they'll be so happy, and they'll, like, literally say, like, I haven't seen anyone for 1 month.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so nice to me. And no one needs to say that.
Yeah.
But it's a pandemic and you understand why they're saying, right?
Yeah.
pandemic was wild. A lot of people's life, and you could see that just from a grocery store, which was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Damn. What powerful things to reflect on.
A lot. We should do this again if it's not recording.
Oh my god, yeah, we'd love to.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, jeez.
Maybe with Alex and Jordan.
Oh yeah,
That would be a lot of fun.
I'm supposed to teach her to do some printmaking.
Oh, no way!
Some
Oh my
wood
gosh.
block, because she knows screen printing,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know relief print, like wood block. So I'm like, because she's asking for videos, I was like, I can give you videos, but I also can't show you how.
Oh my god, I want to come.
You know what?
Hang out.
You know,
do a
because
section.
a fun recording too could be you teach. We record you teaching us,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
or like we could do a session
That would be
where
cool.
they.
I was gonna do an interview with Alex too, just because I wanted to. But
Yeah.
For sure.
So
that would
cool.
be so sick. We should do that.
I
Damn.
was telling a lot of people to like reach out to you guys. And there's sometimes people was like, oh, I'm not artist. I'm like, just reach out to them, talk to them.
Yeah. Because we're not even really podcasters. Like we
Yeah,
are, but
we
just
'cause-
decided to embody that word, I guess.
Right, yeah, because like we we don't really want to talk to somebody who is like just promoting or just like, you know what I mean? We want to talk to people who want to connect and want to like really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We don't, obviously we're not like, not to like put anybody down either, like nothing like that, but like we want, like how am I trying to say this? Somebody who is an established artist with tons of connections and like knows a lot of people, they can have a conversation like this anytime they want to somebody. But somebody who doesn't have that or doesn't have that experience, they can't just reach out to I don't know. So I really like, kind of like you're talking about with getting people to print make or make art even when they don't consider themselves that. We really want to talk to people who may not consider themselves the type to go out and talk to people and record it.
Yeah.
Like and that's like a big victory for me is if somebody does that and they actually do open up and talk. Like I think that's like amazing to me. It's really gratifying.
Yeah. It's been really special too, like getting to know, because I feel like when someone has a more polished way they talk about their work, or like they have a prepared statement or something, they tell you the things that you're supposed to say. Like I went to this school, or I did this, or whatever, which is interesting, and that's helpful to understand the biography. But when they get past that, they start talking about like, this is what I feel passionate about, or these are the people who inspired me, or this is a moment that was important to me. That's a really unique story that I'm not going to get anywhere else, and that informs me too as an artist. Like getting to hear, like, I don't even know how many interviews we've done at this point, but every single one of them has been completely different. And there have been people that have worked in the same medium, but it's not the same experience, not the same worldview, or same story, or same person. So,
This interview has been unlike many as well. It's been very fun. Very unique as well.
I agree. The same.
Awesome. Yeah, wow. This is amazing. Yeah, it's like we are pretty much like 99% of the time, or pretty much all the time, like just blown away by the people we meet and have gotten to talk to, and we're honestly honored to have added you to the list of people. This has been like, I had no,
Thank you.
I didn't have expectations obviously, like, but like I had like no idea what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this was like awesome, like more than I could have hoped for. So
Yeah, I had no
been a lot
idea
of
too.
fun.
I was a little nervous. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna go too much off topic? All the questions gonna be, oh my. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
just
it can.
smoke a little bit and chip.
Good, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, geez. Well, yeah, we are literally we're almost at 2 hours.
Oh my god.
We're at 1 hour and 48 minutes.
Probably one of our longest episodes.
It's up there. Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I talk a lot, guys.
No, that's
So do
the
we.
best. That's the best way to do this.
Perfect.
So.
Cool.
Oh
The
man.
Brazilian me.
Oh yeah.
We talk a lot.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh yeah, before we turn it off, if you want to plug your Instagram or anything else,
Oh,
or
yeah.
website or anything.
Oh yeah, my website is on the go. My friend is working on, but my Instagram is Lauren _Cava Art, which is LAUREN _CAVAART.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put it and it'll be in the text.
Yeah. Awesome.
Where and underneath this recording, play button
Awesome.
in the internet world.
In the internet.
Perfect. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Cool. And I'm going to shut this off now. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.